Hello students, this is Ujjwala Bhandiwad, lecturer from KLS Gokte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belagavi. Today we are going to begin with a small chapter, that is pointers. What is pointer? First question arises, what is pointer? A pointer is a variable that holds memory address, usually the location of another variable in the memory. See, we have already learnt that in the C++. What is variable means? Variable means it is used to store the value temporarily. Okay. Similarly, we are telling pointer means what? It is again a variable, but it will not hold any value. It stores, okay, memory address of another variable. Okay, there is a difference between simple variable and the pointer variable. Okay, then why we should not use the simple variable and we have to use the pointer variable? There are some advantages of pointers. First one is it is possible to write the efficient programs. Okay, second advantage is memory is utilized properly. Okay, third one is dynamically allocate and deallocate the memory. Fourth one is it is easy to deal with the hardware components. And fifth one is it establishes the communication between program and the data. Okay, so students, we are going to learn in detail. Okay, these are the few advantages. That's why we are using the pointer variable instead of simple variable. Okay, now we will be learning in detail about the pointer variable. First, we will begin with the declaration of pointer variable. See here. Sorry students. Declaring the pointer variable has the following syntax. Okay, you can just see. First we write the data type, then we write the variable name, end with the semicolon, but before the variable name I have written here asterisk. Okay, there is a symbol of asterisk. Whenever before the variable name asterisk comes, it is understood that we are using a pointer variable. Okay, see here, data type means it may be any valid data type supported by our C++ or any user defined data type. Okay, means what? It may be int, float, char, anything. Then what is the variable name? It is the name of any pointer variable. Then this presence of asterisk indicates that it is not a simple variable, it is a pointer variable. Okay, let me show you with an example. You can see below. Suppose I declare int asterisk IPTR. IPTR is just the variable name. Okay, it is declared as a pointer variable of what type? Integer data type. Similarly, next example is float asterisk FPTR. FPTR is a variable name. Okay, what type of variable it is? It is going to store floating type of data. Okay, float means everybody know that it is a decimal point value. Okay, similarly, third example is character CPTR. Okay, character means it stores the character data type. Okay, so now next, how, once we have understood how to declare the pointer variable, we are going to understand now how to assign the pointer variable. You can see here, first we have declared one simple variable, that is num. Int num is equal to 25. Here num is a variable. It is not a pointer variable, it is just a variable which is of the type integer. It stores the value how much? 25. Then I am declaring one pointer variable. What is the name of the pointer variable? Is IPTR. Okay, how I understood? Because I have declared it with the asterisk symbol. Okay, now understand. IPTR is equal to and num. Okay, here in this example you can see variable num, okay, which was assigned 25 earlier. Am I right? Now it is assigned to the pointer variable IPTR. Okay, you can see we have declared IPTR as a pointer variable. Now we are assigning the value of num to IPTR. Directly we cannot write IPTR is equal to num. No, we cannot write. What we can write is we have to use this symbol, that is ampersand symbol. We have to use. It is a unary operator which gives the memory address. It gives the memory address of this variable. What is the variable here is num. So num is the integer variable whose memory address is given by this unary operator, and that memory address is stored in the IPTR. Okay, so in this way you can understand how the pointer variable is assigned. See here, two different operators you must remember. Okay, one is pointer variable, that is indicated with the asterisk symbol. Second one is ampersand. It is a unary operator which is also known as address of operator. Okay, instead of telling ampersand we are going to use the word address of operator. See here, and is a unary operator which gives the memory address. Okay, we have to read it ampersand as address of VAR, and it will be read as address of VAR. Example, let me show you. Int num is equal to 25. Okay, earlier same example I am considering. Again I am declaring one pointer variable as IPTR. Okay, then IPTR is equal to address of num. I should pronounce it as address of num is stored inside IPTR. Okay. Now students, let us understand what are the operations can be performed with the pointer variables and what are the operations which we cannot perform with the pointer variables. Okay. First thing is we can add the integer value to the pointer. We can subtract the integer value from a pointer. Also we can compare the two pointers. If they are pointing to the same elements in the array, we can compare the two pointers. Also we can subtract from one pointer with another if they are pointing to the same array. Okay, these operations can be performed on an array, but there are some operations which cannot be performed on a pointers. Which are they? Directly we cannot add two pointers. Subtraction of one pointer from another pointer when they are not pointing to the same array. Similarly, multiplication of two pointers and division of two pointers is not possible. So you must remember which operations we can perform on a pointer, which operations we cannot perform on a pointer. So you must remember this. Next, let us understand. When I declare any variable, obviously some memory is allocated to that variable. Okay. So now understand how the memory is allocated to the pointer variable. Okay. See, our compiler will allocate the required memory space for any variable. Suppose if it is an integer variable, it is going to reserve 2 bytes. For the floating variable, it will reserve 4 bytes. For character variable, it will reserve 1 byte. Okay. Therefore, every data or instruction there must be some memory is allocated by the compiler. But for the pointers, okay, the memory is allocated in two different ways. That is, one is static allocation of memory, second one is dynamic allocation of memory. There is a difference between static and dynamic allocation of memory. Okay, so students, you have to remember, this is important for you can say 3-mark question or 5-mark question. So I have given it clearly. You just have to remember what is the difference between static allocation of memory and dynamic allocation of memory. In static, what will happen? Memory is allocated before the execution of the program is going to begin. Okay, and in case of dynamic, memory is allocated during the execution of the program. Okay, no memory is allocated or deallocated performed during the execution in case of static, whereas memory is established and during the execution only. Third thing is, variables will remain permanently allocated, but the allocated only when the program unit is active. Okay, fourth category, you can say difference is, the static allocation is implemented by using stack and heaps. Then dynamic memory allocation is done by using the data segments. Students, you have to remember the difference between static allocation and dynamic allocation of memory. It may be asked for 3 marks or 5-mark question. Okay, so please remember this answer. Now let us understand two important operators. Okay, one is new operator, another is delete operator. We will be using these operators when we are dealing with the pointers. Okay, so first one is new operator. In the dynamic memory allocation, memory is allocated during the runtime, okay, as and when it is required. But how it is allocated? By using the new operator. So we know that for the pointer, memory is allocated during the runtime. How it is allocated is by using the new operator. Example, let me give you. Int, I have declared one variable, pointer variable, p number. Then see here, p number is equal to new int. What has happened? The first line here declared pointer variable. Second line then allocates the memory for the integer and makes the p number to point to this memory location. Okay, in this way, the new operator is used to allocate the memory to the pointer in the, you can say, dynamic way. Okay. Next operator is delete operator. Delete operator, what it does, whatever the memory is allocated by the new operator, no, after its work is over, it will be released, and to do that we will be using delete operator. Means memory that is dynamically allocated using the new operator can be freed by using the delete operator. Okay, example, see here, we will be using delete function to free the dynamic memory as delete iptr. Earlier I have created the pointer variable iptr. Now I am using delete iptr semicolon. Means what will happen? Whatever the pointer iptr I have created, memory will be released. Okay. Now students, this chapter is very small, so we have covered a few, you can say, questions on this chapter. Please, you have to thoroughly prepare. This chapter is there for the annual exam as per the syllabus provided earlier. Okay, so first question is, what do you mean by pointer? You have to define the pointer. Second question is, mention any one advantage of pointer. Okay, you can say the memory utilization, or you can say we can write efficiently program. Any one advantage you can cite. Then third question is, what is address operator? You have just now understood address operator. Ampersand we have used, no, that is our address operator. We should not use ampersand word, we should use the address of operator. Okay. Then what is pointer operator? We have just now used the asterisk operator, no? That is pointer operator. Then how to declare? Just now we have learnt with the syntax and example how to declare the pointer. How dynamically memory allocation is different from static memory allocation. See here students, you have to remember the difference between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Okay. Now next question is, what is the new operator in C++? We know that new operator is used to allocate the memory for the pointer dynamically. Okay. And similarly delete operator in C++ why we use? Because whatever the memory is allocated by using new operator, it should be freed, okay, by using the delete operator. So students, here this chapter will be gets completed. So you have to prepare this chapter also for the annual exam. Okay. Again we will be covering next topic in the next class. Thank you students.